Imagine a place so remote its name means don't go there. This is the Ural Mountains, winter 1959, deep in Soviet Russia. The landscape is a vast, unending sea of white snow piled high, trees like ghostly sentinels. The wind howls, biting through the thickest clothing, carrying the raw power of the Siberian wilderness. This isn't just cold, it's a dangerous cold that can freeze a person solid in minutes. Here, 10 experienced hikers set out for adventure, aiming for Otorten Mountain, its name a warning in the local Mansi language. They sought the highest challenge, a Category 3 ski expedition, the most difficult in the Soviet Union. These weren't amateurs. They were seasoned students and graduates from the Ural Polytechnical Institute, prepared for the risks. The Cold War loomed, the region shrouded in secrecy and political tension. The Ural Mountains were not just isolated, they were a strategic, mysterious heartland. The hikers ventured into a world where nature's fury and man-made dangers blurred. This is the stage for one of the 20th century's most chilling mysteries. It began with youthful ambition and ended in unexplained terror. What happened to these 9 hikers after one turned back on that fateful night? They fled their tent in a blizzard, temperatures at -30°C. The answers, if they exist, are scattered across a desolate mountainside waiting to be pieced together. Let's meet the team. Igor Dyatlov, 23, was the respected leader, meticulous, calm and trusted. His team students and recent graduates, all passionate, skilled and tightly bonded. Zinaida Kolmogorova, experienced and determined. Lyudmila Dubinina, courageous and spirited. Yuri Yudin, the only survivor, turned back early due to illness, a twist that saved his life. The men, Rustem Slobodin, Georgy Krivonishenko, Yuri Doroshenko, Nicholas Thibault, Brignoles, Alexander Kolovatov and Semyon Zolotaryov, a W2 veteran and hiking instructor. Their preparation was second to none. Category 3 expedition, the toughest there was. They carried the best equipment, felt-lined boots, fur hats, padded jackets, ice axes, a stove, first aid kit and cameras. Their photos show camaraderie and joy, a haunting final glimpse. They knew the dangers, planned their route with precision, and were all certified, experienced hikers. Their journey would cover over 300 kilometers, ending at Otorten. They were physically and mentally tough, trained for the Siberian winter. No one could have predicted that their expertise would be no match for what awaited them. The group's skill is what makes this mystery so unsettling. They were prepared for anything, except what happened on Kholat Syakhl. Their story is a testament to the unpredictability of the wild. The expedition began January 23, 1959. The group arrived by train in Ivdel, then by truck to Vijay, the last outpost before the wilderness. Spirits were high, captured in diaries and photos. From Vijay, they traveled by logging truck, then skied into the endless snow. Yuri Yudin, suffering from illness, turned back, a farewell that would haunt him forever. The remaining 9 pressed on, documenting their journey in diaries. They wrote of the winter's beauty, the challenge of deep snow, and the warmth of friendship. They built a labaz, a storage shelter for excess supplies, showing confidence in their return. Their plan was meticulous, their determination unwavering. They faced brutal cold, skiing miles each day. Photos show teamwork and shared meals, no hint of fear. They were exactly where they wanted to be, doing what they loved. The group moved deeper into the Urals, unaware of the fate awaiting them. Their unity and optimism shine through, even as they approach disaster. The last images are of a team in perfect sync. They were moving toward their goal, and into one of history's greatest mysteries. February 1st, the group approached Otorten, but a snowstorm forced them off course. They found themselves on Kholat Syakhl, Mountain of the Dead in Mansi legend. Despite worsening conditions, Dyatlov decided to camp on the exposed slope. Why not retreat to the tree line? Exhaustion, poor visibility, or a desire to stay on course? No one knows. They pitched their tent, their only shield against the elements. Inside, they shared a meal, stored diaries and cameras, and settled in for the night. The last photo shows them setting up camp. Everything seemed normal. No sign of panic or fear. They were experienced enough to handle a blizzard. As darkness fell, they believed they were safe. This would be their final camp. Sometime that night, something terrifying happened. The 9 hikers abandoned their only shelter, fleeing into the deadly cold. The mountain's name would soon become tragically fitting. The last diary entry, dated February 1st, described their progress and plans. It was the final word from a group about to vanish into mystery. What drove them out into the blizzard remains unknown. The group was due to send a telegram from Viger by February 12th. When no word came, concern grew, delays were normal, but days turned into a week. On February 20th, a massive search began. Students, rescuers, and the Soviet military scoured the wilderness. On February 26th, a search pilot spotted something on Kholat Syakhl, the group's tent, partially buried in snow. Relief turned to dread as rescuers approached no answer to their calls. The tent was empty, belongings and warm clothing left behind, neatly arranged. Most shocking, the tent had been slashed open from the inside. Long gashes showed a desperate escape. Why would 9 experienced hikers cut their way out and flee into a blizzard, leaving everything behind? It suggested they were fleeing an immediate, overwhelming threat. The search for the missing hikers took on a grim urgency. The abandoned tent was the first piece of a disturbing puzzle. Each new discovery would only deepen the mystery. The scene made no sense for such a skilled group. The tent, their lifeline, was left behind in chaos. The mountain held its secrets tight. The searchers pressed on, hoping for answers. Searchers followed footprints from the tent, leading downhill to the tree line. The tracks were bizarre: bare feet, socks, a single boot, confirming a hasty escape. Under a cedar tree, they found a small fire and the bodies of Yuri Doroshenko and Georgy Krivonishenko, stripped to their underwear, hands burned and scraped. Broken branches suggested frantic attempts to climb the tree, perhaps to see or escape something. Paradoxical undressing, a symptom of hypothermia, could explain their state, but not everything. Between the cedar and the tent, 3 more bodies: Dyatlov, Kolmogorova, and Slobodin, as if trying to return to shelter. Their positions suggested a desperate final attempt to survive. Slobodin had a cracked skull, but all were ruled hypothermia deaths. The first 5 bodies deepened the mystery: strange behavior, undress, and injuries out of character for such a group. The remaining 4 hikers were still missing. The spring thaw would reveal the most disturbing clues. The tragedy was only beginning to unfold. 2 months later, as the snow melted, searchers found the last 4 hikers in a ravine buried under 4 meters of snow. They had dug a makeshift den, survived longer, and wore clothes taken from their friends. The autopsies revealed shocking injuries. Dubinina missing her tongue, eyes, and lips. Zolotaryov missing his eyes. Thibaut Brignol with a crushed skull. Dubinina and Zolotaryov with massive chest fractures. The force required was compared to a car crash. Yet there were almost no external wounds. The injuries were catastrophic, not from a fall or struggle. The missing tongue and eyes fueled endless speculation: decomposition, scavengers, or something more sinister. Even stranger, traces of radioactivity were found on some clothing. Was it from their work at the institute or something that happened on the mountain? The bizarre injuries and radiation shattered the simple explanation of hypothermia. Something violent and inexplicable had happened. The case was now a true enigma. The mountain's secrets grew darker. The world was left to wonder. Theories about Dyatlov Pass multiplied, some plausible, others wild. The Avalanche theory suggests a slab of snow struck the tent, causing panic and injuries. But the slope was gentle and no avalanche evidence was found. Ski poles still stood, footprints were clear. Another idea, infrasound from rare weather phenomena, triggered panic and irrational flight. Conspiracy theories abound. Did the hikers stumble onto a secret military test? The crushing injuries and radioactivity fit this narrative. The Soviet government's secrecy only fueled suspicion. Some suggest parachute mines, concussive weapons, or nerve gas. Others point to the paranormal strange lights in the sky, UFOs or Mansi spirits. The lack of answers keeps supernatural theories alive. The facts are so bizarre, even the wildest ideas persist. The truth remains elusive. Each theory raises more questions than it answers. The mystery endures. The official investigation closed in May 1959, blaming an unknown compelling force. The vague conclusions solved nothing. Case files were classified for decades. Secrecy bred speculation, turning Dyatlov Pass into a modern legend. The story has inspired books, documentaries, and endless debate. In 2019, Russian authorities reopened the case but only considered natural causes, an answer many find unsatisfying. The legacy is one of profound mystery. The 9 hikers were skilled, prepared, and defeated by something still unexplained. Their final hours are a chilling testament to the unknown. Their smiling photos contrast with the brutal reality of their deaths. Was it nature, a tragic accident, a military secret, or something stranger? The truth remains frozen on that Siberian mountainside. The clues form a puzzle with no clear solution. What do you think happened at Dyatlov Pass?